Have you ever wondered why happiness feels so elusive? Why no matter how much you achieve, how many things you buy, or how many distractions you fill your day with, that deep, lasting joy still seems just out of reach? You're not alone. Millions chase happiness every day, but most don't realize that the key to true happiness isn't something you find outside. It's something you practice inside. If you want to stop feeling empty, stop chasing temporary highs, and finally unlock a happiness that lasts not just for minutes or hours, but for your whole life, then this video is for you. Because today I'm going to share with you simple, powerful practices that can transform your inner world and light up your life from within. Here's the truth that few people talk about. Happiness isn't a destination or a reward. It's a skill, a way of living. And like any skill, it requires practice, patience, and the right mindset. It's not about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring your struggles. It's about learning how to respond to life in a way that nourishes your soul no matter what's happening around you. Many of us fall into the trap of seeking happiness through things, whether that's relationships, money, success, or approval. But the moment we tie our happiness to external factors, we give away our power. Because those things can change or disappear overnight. True happiness, however, is built on a foundation that no one can shake. In this video, I'll guide you step by step through practical habits and mindset shifts that will help you create that foundation. We'll explore how gratitude can turn your perspective around, why self-love is the fuel for lasting joy, and how letting go of control can free you from unnecessary suffering. You'll learn why choosing purpose over pleasure leads to a deeper fulfillment that no instant gratification can match. If you're tired of feeling overwhelmed by life's ups and downs, if you want to stop running after happiness and start living it, then keep watching. These aren't just ideas. They are proven practices used by some of the happiest, most resilient people in the world. Remember, happiness is not something that just happens to you. It's something you create every single day through the choices you make and the way you treat yourself and others. It's waiting for you on the other side of doubt, fear, and old habits. And the best part? You don't have to wait for a perfect moment or a perfect life to start practicing it. So, are you ready to take control of your happiness? Are you ready to live a life filled with more joy, peace, and meaning? Then let's dive in and start practicing the things that will truly make your heart happy. Because the moment you do, everything changes. Understand that happiness is an inside job. We've been taught from a young age that happiness is something we have to chase, that it lives somewhere in the distance, maybe at the end of a successful career, in the arms of the perfect partner, or behind the wheel of a luxury car. But here's the truth that most people miss. Happiness is not something you find outside of yourself, it's something you create inside. Too many people spend their lives waiting to be happy. They say, I'll be happy when I make more money, or I'll be happy when I lose the weight, or I'll be happy when I'm finally in a relationship. But those milestones are moving targets. And once they're hit, they often just shift again. That's because the source of true happiness was never in those achievements. It was always in how you thought, felt, and perceived your world. Happiness is not a destination. It's a decision. It's a choice you make every single day, regardless of your circumstances. It's about choosing to see the good, even when things feel uncertain. It's about waking up and deciding to be at peace with who you are, where you are, and what you have, while still striving for more. Ask yourself this: how many times have you achieved something only to feel that sense of satisfaction fade quickly? That's because happiness can't be sustained by things alone. It's emotional, it's spiritual, it's tied to your mindset, your gratitude, and your ability to find meaning even in the mundane. Look around. There are people with very little who radiate joy, and there are people with everything who are drowning in misery. What's the difference? It's not money, it's not fame, it's their inner world. It's how they think, it's the peace they've created within themselves. You must understand, no one is coming to save you. No job, no relationship, no purchase, and no event will give you the inner peace and lasting joy that you're truly looking for. That kind of happiness is cultivated from the inside out. It's built on self-respect, gratitude, purpose, and emotional balance. So, if you really want happiness, stop chasing the world and start building your inner sanctuary. Meditate, reflect, affirm your words, show yourself love, speak kindly to yourself, align your values with your actions. Because when your internal world is in order, your external world starts to reflect that peace. And remember this, the world doesn't owe you happiness. It gives you the opportunity to create it for yourself. So stop waiting. Happiness isn't out there. It's already inside you, waiting to be unlocked. Practice choosing it every day. That's where your power is. That's where your peace begins. That's where happiness truly lives. Let go of control and embrace acceptance. One of the biggest blocks to happiness is the need to control everything. We want to control how people treat us. We want to control how life unfolds. We want to control outcomes, events, timing, even emotions. But here's a hard truth that many of us don't want to hear. Control is an illusion. No matter how smart you are, how prepared you are, or how much you plan, life will always have a way of throwing the unexpected at you. And when you're addicted to control, those moments don't just disappoint you, they destroy you. Because your peace was never rooted in faith or flexibility. It was rooted in the belief that everything must go your way in order for you to feel okay. But that's not life. Life is not about making everything perfect. It's about learning to be okay even when things aren't. It's about understanding that you can't control other people, you can't control timing, and you can't control most circumstances. But what you can control is how you respond. And that's where your real power is. When you practice acceptance, you release yourself from the stress of fighting what you cannot change. You stop wasting energy on trying to rewrite the past or force the future. You begin to live in the present moment. You begin to trust that even when things don't go your way, they can still go right. Now, don't get it twisted. Acceptance doesn't mean settling. It doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means being wise enough to know what's within your power and what's not. It means focusing your energy on your own actions, your own thoughts, and your own growth, rather than obsessing over things you'll never be able to control. When you let go of control, you make space for peace. You stop clinging so tightly to how you think things should be, and you open up to what could be. You allow life to surprise you. You begin to trust that even the setbacks are setups. Even the delays are part of the design. And that trust is what creates true happiness. Not the outcome, but the belief that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. Start practicing this today. If someone doesn't treat you right, let it go. If a plan doesn't work out, pivot. If life doesn't unfold the way you expected, breathe and trust the process. Control may make you feel powerful temporarily, but acceptance will give you lasting peace. Let go of your need to grip everything so tightly. Let life flow. Trust yourself. Trust the timing. Trust that what's meant for you won't pass you by. And most of all, trust that happiness isn't found in perfect plans, but in the quiet strength of inner peace. Practice gratitude every single day. If there's one simple but powerful habit that has the potential to completely transform your emotional state, your mindset, and your level of happiness, it's gratitude. Not the kind of gratitude you practice once a year on holidays or when something big goes your way. I'm talking about daily, consistent, intentional gratitude. Even for the small things, especially for the small things. Why is gratitude so powerful? Because your mind is always searching for evidence. If you focus on what's missing, your brain will show you all the reasons why your life isn't enough. If you focus on your problems, your stress will multiply. But when you focus on what you have, what's going right, and what you've overcome, you shift your entire experience of life. Gratitude doesn't erase pain. It doesn't pretend everything is perfect. It simply shifts your lens. Instead of waking up and immediately thinking about what's wrong or what you lack, gratitude helps you say, even in this moment, I still have something to be thankful for. And that shift in perspective, that's where joy lives. It can be as simple as being thankful for clean water, a warm bed, the ability to breathe, a friend who checks in, or a lesson you've learned through hardship. When you learn to recognize the value in ordinary things, you unlock an extraordinary level of peace. Scientific research backs this up. Studies show that people who regularly practice gratitude report lower levels of depression, stress, and anxiety. They sleep better. They experience more positive emotions. Why? Because gratitude activates the parts of the brain associated with emotional regulation and joy. It literally rewires your brain to see the good more easily. So how do you start practicing it? Begin small. Every morning or night, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Speak them out loud. Reflect on them. Let yourself feel it. Don't just list things. Connect with the reasons why you're thankful. Did someone make you smile today? Did you face a challenge but push through? Did you enjoy a quiet moment of peace? The more you practice gratitude, the more natural it becomes. And over time, you start noticing beauty in places you once overlooked. Life may still be messy. Challenges won't magically disappear. But your heart will be more centered, your focus will be clearer, your spirit will feel lighter. Gratitude is the foundation of happiness. Without it, even success feels empty. With it, even struggle feels meaningful. Because when you learn to appreciate life in its imperfect, unpredictable state, you stop needing everything to be just right to feel good. So if you truly want happiness, don't just chase what's next. Celebrate what's now. Appreciate what you already have. Gratitude won't cost you anything, but it will give you everything. Practice it daily. Speak it loudly. Feel it deeply. There's the path to happiness. Set boundaries to protect your peace. One of the most powerful things you can do for your happiness is this. Protect your energy. And the way you do that is by setting boundaries. Clear, firm, unapologetic boundaries. Because here's the truth. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your time, your attention, or your emotional investment. Too many people are exhausted, not because they're doing too much, but because they're doing too much for people who do nothing for them. If you're constantly pouring into others and getting nothing in return, if you're always available but rarely appreciated, then that's not love. That's self-neglect. And that's a fast track to burnout, resentment, and emotional emptiness. Happiness doesn't just come from what you do, it also comes from what you stop tolerating. You've got to stop tolerating disrespect, manipulation, one-sided relationships, and the guilt that others try to place on you when you finally start saying no. Boundary is not about being cold or distant. It's not about being rude. It's about being self-aware. It's about recognizing what drains you, what breaks you, what steals your peace, and choosing to honor your well-being above someone else's comfort. Because guess what? The people who truly care about you will understand your boundaries. The ones who don't, they were using your lack of boundaries for their own benefit. Start practicing this today. Say no when you mean no. Take time for yourself without feeling guilty. Don't answer every text. Don't attend every event. Don't allow toxic conversations to hijack your mood. Your peace is sacred. Guard it. Think of your energy like a bank account. Every interaction is either a deposit or withdrawal. And if you keep letting people make withdrawals without limits, eventually you'll be bankrupt. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Happiness doesn't grow in chaos. It grows in spaces where your soul feels safe. And that kind of space, it's something you have to create. You're not responsible for fixing everyone. You're not obligated to be a dumping ground for people's negativity. You're allowed to choose peace over drama. You're allowed to walk away from people, places, and patterns that no longer align with your growth. And here's the beautiful part when you set boundaries. You don't just protect yourself. You teach others how to treat you. You show them that you respect yourself, and in return, you attract people who do the same. So, if you want true happiness, start with this simple practice. Honor your limits, value your time, defend your energy. The more you do, the lighter you'll feel, the freer you'll live, and the more space you'll have for the people and things that truly matter. Boundaries are not walls, they're doors. And you get to choose who walks through them. Choose wisely, choose peace, choose happiness. Let go of what you can't control if you want to unlock real lasting happiness. Let go of what you cannot control. It sounds simple, but this is one of the hardest things for most people to do. Why? Because we are human, we want to feel safe, we want to predict outcomes, we want to control situations, people, and the future itself. But the truth is, control is an illusion, and the more tightly you hold on, the more you suffer. Think about how much time and energy you waste worrying about things that are completely out of your hands. What other people think about you, how someone else treats you, what might happen tomorrow, what didn't happen yesterday. None of those things are within your full control. Yet they often dominate your thoughts, steal your joy, and cloud your peace. Happiness begins the moment you release the pressure to control everything and instead focus on what you can control. Your attitude, your choices, your effort, your reactions. That's your power. That's where freedom lives. Let's say someone wronged you. You can't go back and change their behavior, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to forgive, not for their sake, but for yours. You can choose to move forward, to grow from the experience, and to not let it define your future. That's power. That's peace. Or maybe your life didn't go the way you planned. You didn't get that job. That relationship ended. The opportunity slipped away. Letting go, it doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop trying to force things that aren't meant for you. It means you trust that life has a greater plan, even if you don't understand it yet. When you learn to let go, you give yourself the gift of clarity. You begin to see the difference between what's your responsibility and what's simply not. And when you stop trying to control other people, you allow space for authentic connection, not manipulation or frustration. Here's what you need to remember. You can't calm the storm, but you can calm yourself. And that changes everything. When your peace is no longer tied to external circumstances, you become unshakable. Life might still throw challenges your way, but they won't own you. You learn to flow, not force, to surrender, not stress, to breathe, not break. So practice this every day. Release what you can't control. When you catch your mind spinning on the what ifs and the should haves, bring it back to this moment. Focus on what's real, what's in front of you, what you can do today. That's where power lives. That's where happiness grows. Don't let the uncontrollable steal your joy. Your peace matters more than your pride. Your growth matters more than your grip. Let go and watch how life surprises you with peace, clarity, and joy you didn't even know you were missing. Serve others without expecting anything in return. If you truly want to experience deep, lasting happiness, you must learn the joy of giving without expecting anything back. Serving others selflessly is one of the most powerful practices that transforms your heart, your mindset, and your life. It's not about being a hero or doing something grand. It's about choosing compassion, empathy, and kindness every single day. As you see, we live in a world where most people give to get. They give love to be loved back. They offer help in hopes of praise. They do favors to collect favors in return. But that kind of giving is transactional. And transactional love doesn't nourish the soul, it exhausts it. Real happiness comes from serving others without keeping score. It's a kind of giving where your intention is pure, where you help someone not because you want to be thanked, but because you understand what it feels like to be in their shoes. You smile at a stranger, knowing they might be carrying invisible pain. You help someone in need, not because the world is watching, but because your soul is. That's the kind of giving that brings peace. That's the kind that plants the seeds of joy in your own life. When you take the focus off yourself and put it on others, something beautiful happens. Your problems seem smaller. Your worries lose their grip. Why? Because in that moment, you are not living from ego. You are living from purpose. And purpose always fills the heart in ways pleasure never can. Now, does this mean you should let people take advantage of you? Absolutely not. Serving others doesn't mean becoming a doormat. It means using your gifts, your time, your energy to uplift others, but also knowing your boundaries and protecting your peace. You can serve without being drained. You can love without being used. This practice also reminds you of what truly matters. Life is not about how much you earn, how many followers you have, or how perfect your life looks on the outside. It's about the impact you make. The moments where your words lifted someone up, the times your kindness gave someone hope, the quiet acts of love that no one else saw, but heaven did. And here's the most amazing part: what you give out eventually finds its way back to you. Not always from the same people or in the same way, but it does return. Life has a way of rewarding those who give from the heart. Joy finds them, peace surrounds them, purpose anchors them. So today and every day forward, practice this. Serve without seeking applause. Give without demanding recognition. Love without strings. Because when your happiness depends on giving, not getting, then no one can ever take it away from you. This kind of selfish service doesn't just bless others, it heals you. And that's a happiness that money can't buy and the world can't steal. Let go of control and trust the process. One of the greatest sources of stress, anxiety, and unhappiness in life is the constant need to control everything. We try to plan every detail, predict every outcome, and force things to go our way. And when they don't, we feel frustrated, defeated, and even broken. But here's the truth that intelligent, emotionally grounded people learn. The more you try to control life, the less peace you'll have. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean you stop caring or stop trying. It simply means you surrender the illusion that you are in charge of everything. It means you do your best and then trust that what's meant for you will find you, even if it arrives in a way you never expected. When you practice letting go, something incredible happens. Your energy shifts. You no longer spend your days overthinking, overplanning, or obsessing over what ifs. You live with more openness, more faith, more presence, and that space, that surrender, makes room for peace and happiness to flow in. Think about it: how many times in your life have things turned out better than you planned? How many times have closed doors led you to better opportunities? How many times have delays protected you from what you couldn't see? That's not a coincidence. That's the universe, God, or life itself working in ways far beyond your understanding. But you can only see that wisdom in hindsight if you're willing to let go in a moment. When you trust the process, you stop resisting life, you stop fighting against what's happening and start learning from it. You start recognizing that every delay, every disappointment, every unexpected change has a lesson and a blessing attached to it. Letting go also brings emotional freedom. You no longer tie your happiness to things going a certain way. You no longer panic when plans shift. You start flowing, not forcing. You move from anxiety to acceptance, and that shift, that calm, centered way of living, is a direct path to happiness. It takes strength to let go. It takes maturity to say, I don't have to control everything for it to work out. And it takes deep inner faith to believe that life has your back even when nothing makes sense. But once you embrace this mindset, you begin to live lighter. You stop carrying the weight of outcomes you were never meant to hold. So if you want more happiness, practice this daily. Release the need to control. Show up. Give your best. And then let it go. What's meant for you will never miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you in the first place. Letting go is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's not giving up, it's growing up. And it's one of the most liberating things you can do for your soul. Choose purpose over pleasure. If you truly want to experience deep, lasting happiness, not just fleeting joy, you have to stop chasing momentary pleasures and start living with purpose. In today's world, we're constantly sold the lie that happiness comes from comfort, luxury, and instant gratification. We're told that if we just buy this, experience that, or escape into something pleasurable, we'll finally feel whole. These are truths. Pleasure may excite you for a moment, but purpose will fulfill you for a lifetime. True happiness isn't about always feeling good. It's about doing what's meaningful, even when it's uncomfortable. Think about it. The happiest people in the world aren't those who are constantly entertained or pampered. They are the ones who wake up with a reason to get out of bed. They're the ones who know they are contributing to something bigger than themselves. They're driven by values, not cravings. They endure short-term struggle for long-term growth. Living with purpose means aligning your daily actions with your highest values. It means asking yourself not what feels good right now, but what will bring me peace and pride later. It means making the hard choices, the disciplined ones that move you closer to your true self. Pleasure can be addicting. Scrolling endlessly on your phone, binge watching shows, eating junk food, or engaging in shallow relationships. They give you a dopamine rush, but what happens afterward? You often feel empty, tired, unmotivated, because those things don't feed your soul. They distract you from it. Purpose, on the other hand, may not always feel exciting in the moment. It might involve sacrifice, early mornings, quiet nights, doing what others avoid. But over time it fills you up, it grounds you, it builds character, and it brings a kind of happiness that no external thing can replicate. The happiness that comes from knowing you are growing, giving, and becoming. If you want true happiness, start asking yourself deeper questions. What am I here to do? Who can I help? What gifts do I have that I'm not using? How can I live a life that aligns with my truth? These questions will guide you toward purpose. And your purpose doesn't have to be some grand world-changing mission. It might be being a great parent, building something meaningful, encouraging others, creating beauty, living with integrity. When you live with purpose, you stop chasing happiness and start embodying it. You stop needing life to entertain you, and instead, you bring meaning into every moment. The more you honor your purpose, the more fulfilled you become. So, stop settling for surface-level satisfaction. Stop trading your long-term peace for short-term pleasure. Start choosing the hard but meaningful path. Because purpose leads to progress. And progress, no matter how slow, always leads to joy. This is the kind of happiness no one can take from you. Because it doesn't depend on things going right, it depends on you living right. As we come to the end of this journey, it's important to remember that happiness is not a far-off dream or a stroke of luck reserved for a lucky few. Happiness is a practice, a way of living that you can cultivate every single day, no matter where you are in life or what challenges you face. You've learned that happiness begins with gratitude, the simple act of appreciating what you already have. When you shift your focus from what's missing to what's present, you invite joy into your heart and create space for peace. Gratitude rewires your brain, training you to see the good, even in the smallest moments, and that alone can transform your entire outlook. You've discovered the power of self-love, the radical acceptance of who you are, imperfections and all. Self-love is not selfish, it's essential. It's the foundation of lasting happiness. Because when you honor yourself, you stop seeking approval from others and stop relying on external things to validate your worth. You become your own source of strength and joy. Letting go of control is another vital step. Life will always throw unexpected twists and turns your way. Trying to control everything only leads to frustration and stress. But when you surrender to the flow of life, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and open your heart to the possibilities around you. You learn to trust the process, even when you can't see the full picture. And finally, you've seen why choosing purpose over pleasure makes all the difference. True happiness is not about fleeting moments of fun or comfort. It's about living a life aligned with your deepest values and passions. It's about waking up every day with a sense of meaning, knowing that your actions matter. Purpose grounds you, fuels your growth, and brings a joy that lasts far beyond any temporary high. Remember, no one is perfect at practicing happiness. It's a daily commitment. Some days will be easier than others. You will stumble, feel discouraged, or fall back into old patterns, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep coming back to these practices. Keep choosing to nurture your happiness, and keep believing in your ability to create a joyful life. You have the power to change your inner world. You have the power to rise above the noise, the stress, and the distractions that pull you away from your peace. Happiness is waiting for you, not as a distant dream, but as a present reality you can build right now. So start today. Practice gratitude, Love yourself fiercely. Let go of what you can't control. Find your purpose and follow it with courage. And watch how your life begins to shift in ways you never thought possible. Thank you for being here and taking this important step toward your happiness. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs it. Together we can create a world where happiness is not a luxury but a way of life. Remember, happiness is a practice. Choose it every day, live it fully, and let it shine from within.